Hi, so I've had a few questions recently that, although they appear to be quite different questions about health and about advice, because conscious health is based on really very specific core principles, I've decided to make a series of short videos, very consistent with what I'm writing about in the next book at the moment, and really to try to help explain what I think makes the biggest difference about being consciously healthy and about taking control of your health and being the master of your health. So the key core concept really is that the body doesn't make mistakes. So just because you don't know what it's doing, or just because you don't like the results you're getting, doesn't mean that the body's making a mistake. And a long time ago, we had this division of body, mind and spirit. So, the doctors were really given, the medical doctors were kind of given the authority over the mechanics of the body. And the church was given control over the spirit. And really psychiatry was kind of given control over the psyche and over the mind. And we've since been trying to bring it back together again. So we talk about the body-mind connection, but I really want to make clear that it isn't a connection. It's really operating as one system. The body, mind, spirit and energetic system are one system. And just because we get a glimpse from one angle or another angle, a bit like the old kind of story about rubbing parts of the elephant, just because we only see one bit and we're holding the tail and we think it's a snake, or actually there's the things working all together. And if you're not getting that, you're only getting part of the level, then we need to widen our perspective and see things a bit more clearly and from a different angle. So the body doesn't make mistakes. The body can only respond literally. It can only increase in cells or decrease in cells. That's really what it does. And usually an illness is either a lack of something or an overwhelm of something, too much of something. So the body is trying to adapt to too much of something, or it's trying to adapt because it hasn't got enough of something. And it's doing its level best to stay in homeostasis, to stay in balance. So the series of videos I'm going to make are really some of the key things that work together, the key components that help us to start to look at what's really going on, okay? So I'm going to try to make it isn't sequential, it's very non-linear, and each thing affects each other, which is why I've kind of keep holding off launching into a lot of this stuff. Is I get quite overwhelmed myself because I think, well, do they need that first or do they need that first? And at the end of the day, I'm just going to break it down into the core elements, and then it doesn't matter what order you watch them in, okay? Just in the same way that I've got the 7 steps to conscious health. In a way, they're not steps. In a way, they are kind of core components. But I've tried to put them in what I think is the best sequence for you to get them, and they build on top of each other. So you can follow them in 7 steps, but actually you can dip into this new book at any point and understand one of those core elements. So really, the first thing I want to help you think about is that if the body isn't making a mistake, what is it doing? Is it adapting to a lack of something? Is it adapting to an overwhelm of something? And if we've had an event in the past where we have created a belief or made a decision, or where we didn't complete that event, so we had a freeze response and that freeze has got stuck in our system, and it's still stuck live in the amygdala. It hasn't been kind of completed and moved in procedural memory and moved into the hippocampus where it can be put into time and space. If it's still active and still live, then your body will continue to adapt to it. It will continue to believe it to be an ongoing incomplete event. So if you have a symptom and it is a chronic symptom, it is an ongoing symptom, then this usually means that there's a number of triggers and you're continuing to re-trigger and kind of revive that response. So it isn't because the body's broken, it's because it's trying to adapt to something you didn't complete. And the key is looking at what that symptom is. The symptom itself may not be the original purpose, okay? The original purpose would have been very specific, but if it's stuck doing something, So an example would be eczema is the build-up and a kind of angry red itchy skin. That's not its purpose. The purpose was actually to thin and desensitize the skin so as not to feel something, okay? Either feel a separation or feel a contact. So if you have eczema, then you are re-triggering an original event and re-triggering the body trying to heal. So over the next few videos, I will break that down. I'll give you some more examples and we'll have a look at a number of these core components. But my first question for you is, if you were to stop judging and just observe, become the neutral observant witness of your symptoms and recognize that the body's not making a mistake and it's not broken and it doesn't attack itself, then what might it be doing? What incomplete event might you have in relation to that part of the body doing what it's doing? Okay, that's the question.